We are live. Here we go with Mr. Miles. Mr. Miles. And we're here. All right. Yay. What's happening, Miles, man?
What's happening? Good to be here.
Yeah.
We finally made it past the tech demons, huh?
Oh
Took
my
a few
God.
rounds, but we're in.
Today
Just
was tech
vibing with it.
hell. Today was just like, oh my God. It's like everything I tried to do, because I promised I was going to come up with this BDNF document and I was going to bring that out here and talk about that. I actually was trying to record that in Loom, and it's just things weren't popping, man. It just things were not happening. So it was testing my patience on every possible level. Like I was just like, come on, man. This is just not happening. So, needless to say, you know, it is what it is, right?
Exactly. It is what it is. Some days the universe just wants to see if you can keep your cool while everything glitches. You handled it,
it,
you're here, and the energy is shifted.
it totally
It's
glitched.
just rather total system failure.
Yeah.
But hey, we're on the other side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what I was thinking of doing? Here's what I was thinking of doing. I think, we're going to go back and forth. Sometimes because I do the stream, right? I'll switch back and forth, but I want to go to this document I'm talking about. So maybe we can do this and see how this works, right? So you're going to be in the background talking. People don't really need to see you, right? You're still there? Yeah, all good. Miles? Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So basically, I'm going to talk. But see, the thing is, that's the problem with this. And I don't understand this. I cannot move this document. I was going to like screen it, but let's see. Will that do anything? Yeah. See, it doesn't move the document, which I don't understand. So like maybe I have to go back and forth, right, to the document. Is that what I have to do? That would be kind of silly to do that. Um, like I don't know if it's looking at it from here while I'm on the actual document. I don't want to present, so maybe I go here like this. Then see, that doesn't work either. Yeah. I swear to God, man, it's like, let me try something here because yeah, it's like so aggravating. Um, see, I can't tell if this is being seen on YouTube right now. That's the problem I have with this technology. Unless I get something like Streamlabs or not StreamYard, because then I can kind of go back and forth between the different pages. Like I can have three. I can have you up on screen. I can have the PDF. I can scroll with it. You can see me, and if there's anybody I want to bring in, I can bring them in too. So that's kind of the conundrum I'm having. Sorry for all this, everybody. It's just what it is right now. And I'll be able to see this on the replay, what it actually does and does not do, or what my capabilities are. Um, Feedback. Let's see. I want to share a screen. Um, Also, tab audio. Go ahead. You think? Yeah. Mm, yeah. 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 So anybody that's out there, So let me do that. Well, I got you here, but I was trying to do what I was attempting to do was basically what's happening. J-Man, just got free. How have you been on? I just started. I was going to go on at 8, but today's been just a day of technical issues. I was just telling Miles, um, from Loom. I was recording a video, the document I was going to upload for everybody today, which is a part 2 to my spiritual and energetic hygiene. It's like a dope document. It really is. But I recorded for an hour thinking that I had it in the can, and then it just crashed. So I lost everything I had done. So completely aggravating, and it interrupted my day because I was going to go to the beach, work out, do some stuff. Just the cortisol level was through the roof. So yes, Jay, thank you for checking in, bro, and being here. So yeah, to answer
Losing
the
their
question, J-Man is in the house. So yeah.
an hour of work just
uh,
that's the ultimate gut punch. Just vanishing into the void like that is enough to wreck anyone's flow.
Tech chart
This is
all right. So Jay says, well, I'm thankful for the tech tardation so I could join you right on time, but sorry to hear, brother. Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Tomorrow's another day. I got another 2 days off. So tomorrow I intend to make some fucking progress. But I'll show you the document so you can see it. We'll see after this is over, after this YouTube. I'll probably go only for an hour, and then see what if there's any good juicy parts here that we have, depending on participation. But let me change this out. Let's go. Hey, here I am. Let me see if I can find the other documents. I'll show you what this looks like. So this is the document, right? Right. Okay. So can I? Oh, I can. All right. So here's the deal. I think what I can do. Let me know, Jay, if you can see me in this in the screen share. Like you can see my video or my image below. That'll help me. But I can't see the comment window right now. So this is what the document is, right? It's upgrade your brain and BDF, brain-derived nootropic factor, right? So this is the dovetailing moment. And Miles, do you want to say anything about BDNF? Are you familiar with it? I'm sure you are. Okay. Exactly. Exactly. Very nice. I like, Mr. Miles Yekshemesh. I like you. You're a good guy. No, did you get that? Did you get that voice? Who was I impersonating there? No, it was Borat. Do you know Borat? I'll come back to that. All right, let's keep it in the whole. All right, you've changed the frequency, so I'm grateful. I can't see the comments while I'm showing. Okay, I can't see the comments while I'm showing the document. So basically, all right. So upgrade your brain and BDNF. So when I talk about spiritual and energetic hygiene, that's where this dovetails, because the right BDNF, the right brain foods, the grounding, the sunlight. We're going to get into this. I'm actually going to roll through this. So if you guys are cool with that, here we go. Let me see if I can actually, I can enlarge this. So, oh wait, there we go. Look at that. That's cool. All right. So inner reflection for outer direction. That's, what I'm always saying. And if you have any questions, comments, please drop them in the comment section. I will do my best to respond, if not tonight or on the replay, right? I will answer. It gives me 24 to 48 hours because I'm basically, I'm a one-man social media marketer, manager, creator, influencer, editor, director, writer, creator, blah, blah, blah. All right, moving on. So the whole idea here is inner reflection for outer direction. So you'll always see pause, consider, question, right? Don't believe a word I say, go with it, feeling, look at, inner reflection for outer direction. So that's the premise here. And this document will be uploaded. You can access it for free. And just two things. None of this is medical advice. It's entanglement and entrainment, and sometimes entertainment. Okay. But I put a lot of heart and soul into this. It's free. It's my gift to you. There are affiliate links too, because I've researched, vetted these companies. And again, obviously, if you're watching this on the replay, a year from now, 10 years from now, the only constant on this planet is change. So some things may be true. Businesses may be here, may not be. So I'm just letting you know that right now. And I'm always changing the products and the protocols, the people I may recommend based on new evidence, new information that comes up. So let's move forward. So what if your brain could grow brand new cells at any age and all it needed was the right signal, right? What are you broadcasting? Because I want you to think about, if you've watched any of my videos, I talk about you being a metagalactic amplifier. So you're a transmitter and a receiver. Whether you honor it, know it, recall it, or not, this is your clarion call, okay? And when you raise your dopamine, okay, and I will use quotes from Dr. Jack Kruse, Kruse. He's a neurosurgeon. He's got a lot of little nuggets, don't align with everything. You take what works and you chuck the rest until it does or it doesn't. But you're always broadcasting a signal. And, as Joe Dispenza will say, your personal reality or your personality is your personal reality. Another guy that I like a lot of his info, but on an energetic level, there's some pretty interesting things going on with Joe at his workshops, which I saw from day one when he started. But that's a whole other issue. If you have questions about that, I'll answer, because I'm going to go off on tangents. I already know. Right, Miles? Don't I go off? Okay, good. That's good news. Okay, you got a tight leash on me tonight. All right, so next slide here. Okay, so BDNF, obviously brain-derived nootropic factor. So your brain's own growth hormone, and you can turn up the signal. It doesn't matter what age or stage or your level of rage. Just, we want to get you out of the cage. So your brain's miracle grow, right, is literally a protein that grows, repairs, protects neurons. So neurodendrites, neural pathways, neurons, neuroplasticity. There's been like Carillion, not Carillion, but like I don't know what the photography is, but literally when someone has a new idea, if they've been eating with their right hand and they switch to their left hand or vice versa, there's like a video that shows all of a sudden a new synapse, a little branch, grows, it fires. So before it actually grows, there's conductivity, there's electricity. Okay, that's what's happening. We are we're oscillators, we're vibrators of frequency, energy, quantum. Okay, that's what the angelic human is. The indigo, the star seed, the earth seed, right? Okay, memory and learning. So let's see if I can, there we go. I like making this bigger. Strengthens synaptic wiring. So that is all the connecting, the synaptic wiring, the root to clear recall. Okay. So short-term memory, right? Parkinson's, all of those things, oxalates. Those are clips in the chains, in the synaptic connections. Okay. That's why, as we evolve, sometimes we don't always recall things. Mood and resilience, right? BDNF provides all the beta endorphins, the feel-good hormones, like when you're out in the sun, but we're going to get into that. Low BDNF, brain fog, dementia, depression, anxiety, fatigue, depression, right? Neuroplasticity, the bridge between what you are and who you're becoming. Because as you grow, as you expand, if you do any type of brain exercises, right, you juggle, right, or you do the shoot the bunny, right, exercise, or there's lots of these different kinds of things, right? Sometimes I get it. You try these things, this creates coherence in the brain, right? And then lastly, pineal in the third eye. If you haven't heard of that by now, where have you been? So the pineal gland, located in the third. So you have the SCN, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, you have the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, the hippocampus, the vagus nerve, and there's many other apparatuses that you as a metagalactic amplifier have, okay? Trust me, you do. And BDNF supports the gland governing inner perception. So remember, inner perception, inner reflection for outer direction. That's what it's all about. I really like to cut through the noise, get out of the chaos and into the coherence, get into that lila space. That's where you're in your center, where everything's swirling around you, all the chaos of everybody else, right? We'll get into entrainment too, because that's something from someone that I've been a mentor of mine, Ashiana Dean. She just had a live stream workshop that was like a million mic drops. Like finally the beloveds have given her some new info, but I'm trailing off again. Miles, you're not paying attention here? Okay. Thank you. All right. We don't want to do that. So thank you. All right. Okay. So here we go. So you're right. You're right. So here we go. All right. So again, pause, consider, question, reflect. I should add that. Did you know, we're going to get into water now. Water has memory that it can store data, carry intention, and when structured correctly, become a living transmission for your body. So think of it. So Masamori Moto, and what is her name? Gosh, she does similar work to Masamuro. And it just for some reason it escapes me, but she's phenomenal. She's on it. She's all over the place. Do you remember who I'm talking about, Miles? Um, yeah, no. There's another woman from I think she's from South Africa, and God, her name escapes me at the moment, but it'll come back to me. I'll just ask my higher self to kind of bring it back. But do you know who I'm talking about? She does stuff with crystals too, with water, and she gets actually pictures. Like if you show a picture of yourself, the water crystals will actually form. They'll look just like you, but she doesn't completely freeze it like Masamori Moto did, right? He took water. He talked to it. He said, "I love you, I hate you," or "I love you, I appreciate you," and then he froze it, completely froze it, and the ice crystals took on a distorted shape for the negative vibes and a positive shape, for the happy vibes, right? For the appreciation, love, and but there's another woman. God, it's right there. Anyway, I don't want to. So we're talking about water. So Gerald Pollack, the fourth phase of water. Who else was there that was a pioneer having to do with water? That I'm thinking Schauberger, Victor Schauberger. Yeah. So very important. Water is, the source of life, and we want living water, and we want structured water. When you go up to places like North Carolina or anywhere you go to, Canada, Niagara Falls, anywhere where there's waterfalls and there's negative ions, there's communication, there's energy, right? That's what they use, waterfalls to power plants. Water is it's a multidimensional being. It's not an element. It is a living being. Okay. And water has memory. It has more memory than like all the terabyte drives. It stores so much. It witnesses, it observes, it feels, it hears, it actually transmits. Again, it's sort of like, it's called, I think, aquakinesis. There's water kinesis, telekinesis, aerokinesis, pyrokinesis, where you can manipulate or co-create with energy. Like we all can become like airbenders, like the movie. So water is super important. Structured water, coherent water, H3O2, easy water, which is Gerald Pollack. You can read his book. I'm going to have all these links. I'll gather all of these. I don't think I have everything I'm dropping here. Molecular hydrogen. I've tried it. The device that I recommend, the machine is called Holy Hydrogen. It also has, you can make the hydrogen, plus you can breathe in the hydrogen as well. I've tried the machine. I don't have it, just to be perfectly clear, but this is the device, the machine that I am going to get. I work with this company. It's called Holy Hydrogen. Phenomenal. Vortexing and coherence, the Analemma wand. I've talked about this before. So when you get the document, you can click here, and these are some of the links. Some of them, Live Pristine Hydro is a water filter, one of the best out there. Eskin Shower, that's another great one. That's what I have currently. But I have the shower filter, and I use the Pristine Hydro filter because you want to have clean water when you take a shower. So here's here's the other thing with water. Water holds memory, right? So one of the things that the Analemma wand does, right here, when you click on that, anytime you click these links, it'll take you directly to the website. Those are my affiliate links. So what the Analemma wand does that most structured water systems, like there's other vortexing or structured water wands. So first, this is like a 6-inch crystal. It's 100% quartz crystal glass. So you have to be very careful with it. Inside the glass is what's called mother water. That mother water has gone through 5 stages having to do with the elements. It's proprietary. They don't talk about it. But you can read all their science. They have a plethora. They have a ton of science there. Okay. The cool thing, what the Analemma wand does, and they even have a POE, which is a point of entry. It's a whole house system. What it does is it literally, it removes the energetic component of whatever the chemical is. So you have chemical, biological, and physical toxins, right? So what the Analemma wand does is it strips it of the activation of those physical, right? Because as I've said before, as above, so is below. So spiritual, energetic, or energetic, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. So what the Analemma wand does, like I have a gallon of water. I make like my water bottles. But I fill all these water bottles and I mineralize and I use lots of different things. And I'll go into a protocol about that. But for the sake of this conversation, Analemma, even if you don't have a water filter, but you use an Analemma wand, like if you got a glass of water from the sink, and we're in Florida, so municipal water ain't kosher, you know? So what it does is it removes the energetic component. So it's tabula rasa. So literally, if you did get some chemicals, fluoride, fluorine, chloramine, chloride, any of that in you, it doesn't penetrate or doesn't absorb into the fat tissue as a physical presence, because the energetic component, it's almost like it unplugs the activation of it, if that makes sense. Okay. So you just pee or poop it out. That's just one of the many benefits. Plus, they've done tests with it on a neurological basis where they'll do a brain scan of many different people. They've done this over 14 years. This isn't like a small control group of like 25 people. All right, get in the room. Let's do you and let's do you. No, this was like done over a very long period of time. They've done their due diligence. And coherence in the brain, where before parts of the brain were disconnected or weren't firing, boom, coherence. So AquaTrue desktop RO filter. That's really great. I don't have it yet. Another one I want to get. Jordan Parker Optimized Minerals. This guy is on point. Great heart, great integrity. I love his intention. He's constantly present with his audience, with his clients, always making improvements, being vulnerable where he's made mistakes or improvements. I love Optimized Minerals. They have liquid and they have powder. Great products. All right. Let's move on, shall we? Did I miss anything, Miles? Okay. Yeah, completely. And who doesn't want a high fidelity antenna? I like walking around with my high fidelity antenna. Whoops, sorry, I didn't point it at you. Not you, man. Yeah, I am. No. All right. So here we go. Next level, we're going to get into sunlight now. So everything I'm saying, just consider it, take it into your under your own advisement, do your own research, due diligence. This is not medical advice. It is entanglement, entrainment, and sometimes entertainment. So hope you're getting the laughs. What if the sunrise isn't just beautiful, it's nature's original wireless Wi Fi connection, broadcasting directly to your nervous system every single early AM? Well, it does it 24/7, but yes, right? The early rising. I don't call it morning because we're not at a funeral. Yes, I'm into etymology, but I'm also not just the origin of the words, but the energetic spiritual meaning behind words because words cast spells. There you go. All right. So here we are. Huh? Say it again. What up, Miles? Unconsciously. Yeah. We all do it, you know. Synonyms, antonyms, the words sound the same but have different meanings, you could say the word sell. Are you talking about a prison cell or are you going to sell a house? It's just like sounds the same, but the frequency and the intention behind the use of a word changes everything. It changes the structure, what's called the morphogenetic field. But again, I'm driving off course. I don't want to do that. All right. So, like I said, what if the sun, we love the sun. Okay. Um, Slide to reveal. So here it is. Early AM light, your native signal. I'm sorry, I got cut off there. So early AM sun exposure can work miracles. And I'm going to address the women, the ladies out there. You ladies need the sun, like for your hormones, big time. Guys do too, but this really affects women. If you are someone, a female, say you're premenopausal, perimenopausal, you're going through hormone therapy, you're dropping thousands or hundreds of dollars, and I'm sharing information that I've gotten from other women and from just my own studies. So again, I urge you to take this as pure information and do your research. But I consider it, right? Considerations and conclusions. That's what it's about. So, sunlight will regulate your hormones, AM sunlight, specifically UVB light. If you get out there, get the girls out in the sun, guys, get the crown jewels out there for 30 minutes, AM sunlight. No, you're not going to burn. It's the time of day and how much exposure you have that creates burn. And no, it does not cause cancer. That's been proven flat out. Not a bold claim, it's fact. I mean, you can read studies from the most prestigious medical journals, JAMA, from NIH. Not that NIH is really good. I mean, a lot of these guys are crooks and, they're paid off to write these studies. So even peer reviewed control groups. Look, if you look back at nature, indigenous people, the way things were, this isn't rocket. I mean, this is nothing new. It's just that we've moved away. The pendulum has swung one way, now it's swinging back. Because all the hip, slick, cool technology and everything, yeah, it doesn't really do the job, right? Getting out in nature, moving your ass, just movement, flow, engagement with nature, the mere energetic essence of the terpenes that are released from pine trees, the pollens, all of these things have electromagnetic signals that your olfactory bulb, your nose, your eyes, your ears, you're multisensory, multidimensional. You pick up on these things. But if you're indoors and you're in a box and you're under fluorescent light, artificial light, and you're eating shit food from McCrapples, and your dopamine is just going beep, and now you're just a tool. You're easily manipulated. You put on weight. You're oh, you got to go. You're dropping out. Oh, nope. Let me reboot you real quick. I know you drop out. Stand by 1 second while I hit Mr. Miles up. I'm going to tap into Miles and reboot him because he only goes for 30 minutes. So let's get Miles back on the scene. All right. Welcome back. Hey, hey, where you been? Yeah. All right. we're back. We're still in the middle of it, but you dropped out. You have your 30-minute window where you need a coffee break, or I don't know. So, we're talking about early AM light and your native signal. So every day, 10 to 30 minutes AM sunlight, naked, if at all possible. Okay. Girls need to get the breasts out. Guys need to get the testes out. Why? Because AM sunlight stimulates these hormones and gets your endogenous compound pharmacy to create these hormones, where you don't need external supplement. You have the vertical supplement, right? And that signaling from the sun triggers your circadian clocks and all of your hormones to release different hormones, different nutrients, right? It's all free. It's all there, right? So that's the ultimate supplement, is the supplement. Credit goes to Scott Compton, or Scompy, from EMF Warriors many years ago. He dropped that nugget. I always give him credit for it. Barefoot grounding. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm going to try and speed this up. I know I'm dragging this out, but there's so much good information, and I hope you're enjoying this. Drop some comments, any questions, and once I drop, because I can't see the comments while I'm doing the screen share on this, so if there's anyone in the chat dropping them, let me know. Barefoot grounding. So I want to tell you about barefoot grounding. You've probably heard everything earthing grounding. Ken Ober was the one that kind of brought it to the surface, or made it, popularized it. He's a great guy. He had a host of all kinds of illnesses, and so he exposed it. He brought it out. But what I want to say is, the bottoms of your feet are so porous, right? And they're the widest space on your body that are porous, and they get right to the nerves. So that's why magnesium oil, especially essential oils. And one company, another product line that I work with, is a company called Oshadi. It's not an MLM. I used to work for those companies. Yes, the competing companies, the brothers. I did it back in the 70s. Where they are now, far cry from what it was a long time ago. But the company that's got integrity, impeccability, efficacy, frequency, high frequency, is Oshadi. You go to their website, you check them out, and I am telling you, from diffusers to CO2 extracts to perfumes to misters, they've got the full line. They break everything down. They show you the distillation processes. They tell you the terpene count. I mean, they've got, for those that like to just geek out on that stuff, you're going to see it in a second here. But that is so key to help regulate the dopamine, the L-DOPA, to raise the dopamine levels, also for helping you bridge and strengthen your connection. Because you're going to see over the next several years, frequencies are going to increase on the planet, okay? And when I work with clients, by the way, that's something I do. I haven't mentioned that yet, but I'm an intuitive guide. I haven't said that already. I'm a multi-clear medium, which means I see, I hear, I feel, I sense, and my tagline is, but it's true. And sometimes I smell energy. So, so I'll talk about that at the end, but I work with people to shorten the distance between 2 points. And if you follow human design, I am a projector, which means I'm a non-energy type. So when I work with clients, I only take on 2 to 3 people max in a week. And I'll do monthly, annual, but that's a case-by-case situation. I also do consults at people's homes where they have electromagnetic toxin everywhere in their home, from the physical products to the EMF fields. I don't really have devices. I do, but I go by, again, my vertical guidance, and I can point and show you things. Anyway, and I will do another video on geopathic stress, which is another thing that most people don't even know about. Okay, back to it. Barefoot grounding, essential oils on the bottom of your feet. What does that do? Barefoot grounding pulls up the Schumann resonance, right? 7.83 or whatever the hertz is, but it syncs you. It's like earth sync. You sync up with the earth's sort of BPR, the base pulse rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. Instead of going, you're going all day. You're in sympathetic mode. Here today, gone yesterday, gone later today, right? Cold exposure. Newsflash, you don't need a big ass tub. You know what you need? A bowl with ice cubes and the diver's reflex, and you will create brown adipose fat. That's also grounded in fact. You will have the same trigger effects of cold thermogenesis from that, which triggers nitric oxide in the endothelial wall, in the bloodstream, in your, in your veins, right? Circulation. Okay. Evening light protocol. Blue blockers company. I'll drop. I don't think I have the link. I'll put it in here. The company's called Bon Charge. It's actually, if you go to Josh's Wellness Hub, I do have most of my links there. You can either access them here or go to the website. But these are great. They're very great as far as the color temperature. They match your color. So my circadian clocks, my eyes, they're protected, right, from the blue light from the screens. So there's another website that I recommend. It's called iristech.co, iristech.co. Daniel is amazing. You can add it to your tablet, to your laptop. You can't do it to iOS devices. There's some issue that they have, but it basically matches the sun setting at your longitude and latitude. So your screen kind of looks like, or you can manually set it too, but your screen looks like it's dimming in an orange color as the full spectrum sunlight, once it drops below 30 degrees, right? You go from UVB, UV, UVA, solar noon, UVC, near infrared, far infrared, and then, IR, invisible red light, right? That's the full light spectrum. Anyway, there's a lot to that. I'm going to continue because I don't want to go too late here. So two things, the shoddy oil, check that out. Defender Shield company also work with. They have some wonderful products. Like I use their phone cover, really great. I've tested this, put the phone in there so you can literally put your phone up to your ear, not get the vibration. I also have their, these are really cool. Where are they? Here they are. I use these all the time. So I don't use those stupid AirPods, those wireless things. Everyone's got the headsets. I get it. I tried them for once. That stuff is putting more pulsed EMF into your brain than actually a phone is. Okay. So I use these. These are also from Defender Shield. So they're air tubes. And the sound is stereo sound. It's solid. I mean, I use this on my bike when I go for a ride. You can take calls. It's got a volume control. If you're listening to tunes, you can, click it, do the same stuff. Very durable. The cord, very solid. Great. So this is the option to the pods, to the wireless crap, all that shit. All right, moving on. Pause, consider. Before you eat, this is another one that's so important. Before you eat, do you talk to your food? No, I'm not crazy. Go ahead, Miles. Yeah. You got it, man. You know what I should ask? I should ask you to comment on each section. I apologize for that. I tend to just ramble on. So okay. So now we're talking about being conscious of eating. And I did a video on TikTok similar to this. You can go to my TikTok handle, which is Josh Intuitive Guide if you're on TikTok. It's an earlier video, but it's all about when you go out to eat. I forget the title of the video. You can find it if you're interested. But basically, I said, even if you don't go out to eat, but a lot of people, that's the sort of what I was relating to. But whether you go to a friend's house, family, doesn't matter. If you go out to eat, you're sitting there, you're ordering your food, the food comes, you're eating, all of a sudden you feel upset stomach, you don't feel right, something's off, right? So most people commonly think it's food poisoning, right? So came out of a can. If you go to one of these crappy restaurants that are all, corporate owned, they use the crappiest ingredients. They're not organic. God knows what's in them. You may have botulism. I don't know. But really, the consideration is it food poisoning or is it energy poisoning? That poses a new question. So where's the energy poisoning coming from, you say? Is it electricity? Is it, no, it's the person, the cook, the waiter, the bartender. People are going through a host of emotions and feelings all the time. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, someone at work, a chef could have had someone that passed away. They went through a divorce, something traumatic. That energy is emanating from their body. And if they're preparing food and they are not present and happy, or at least content at what they're doing in that moment, that negative energy is being transferred into what you are consuming. So then you get sick. If you're highly sensitive, you immediately feel it because there is no time, right? So something to think about and consider. You know, if you go, I'm not like you go to a restaurant, you go, can I talk with the chef? Are you doing good today? Do you feel all right? You know, you don't even need to ask the question. You can just look at the guy and tell. You know, I do that. I can tell. I walk into an establishment and I look at the people there because look, management and ownership is at a restaurant. Shit runs downhill. So if the manager's miserable and doesn't like what he's doing, there's a high probability the people that work for him or with him are in the same boat, right? Again, that's called entanglement and entrainment. And the one who has the stronger energy overrides the weaker ones in the collective or the group. All right. Miles, you want to tap on that? Straight up. So this isn't woo, this is true. All right. And we're going to get into that now. So eat alive, eat with intention, eat with gratitude and appreciation. That's what I say. So you'll see the terms, you've seen them all over the place. You walk into a market, a store, regenerative, wild harvested, wild created, wild, non GMO, no, no blow, no, no crack, you know, you just want to find the most authentic primordial food that has minimal production and hands touching or moving or shifting anything. And obviously, if you're in a space or a place where you have a farm or you grow your own food, you're gifted, you're blessed, right? For those of us that don't have access to that, at least for me, I grew up in Southern California. I was around a lot of farmers, people. I worked for an organic dairy. I worked for an organic co-op. I learned a lot. I have my own business with my wife. We had imported goods from Europe. Um, at the very top, you have a handful of people that handle production, distribution, and, it's important to have transparency through the food chain. And so you need to take the action upon yourself to reach out to these producers, growers, farmers, and not only just question them, but if they're doing a good job, like I do that, I commend them. I say, look, I buy your products. You don't know me from Adam, but I appreciate you. I know the work that you do is fucking awesome. You spend your days, you're plowing fields, you're doing whatever to bring high quality product to the market in an environment that is against you for the most part, through the skies, through the air, through the water, through the politics, through the agricultural bullshit. So when you get food, sustenance, whether it's solid or liquid, be present with it. Eat it slowly. Okay. And I didn't know all of this. I'm not saying I'm the professional, I'm the guru. No guru here, right? My experience. That's all I can convey to you. But it makes a difference. At least for me, I notice it. If I sit and I chew my food really fast, I get an upset stomach. I had sort of acid reflux. Lots of things happen. But if I'm present, I chew my food till it's liquid. That bypasses parasites. They love it when you're in a hurry. And that's a whole other program I can go into. I mean, everything is always an offshoot of something else. It's all dot connected. But so these are the things you want to do, right? The types of foods. Now, it doesn't matter. I'm not addressing whether you're vegan, vegetarian, paleo, keto, microbiotic, omnivore, whatever, right? The premise remains, the foundation is be conscientious with what you have. Communicate with it. Don't use a microwave. If you have a microwave, toss it. Microwave ovens are the worst thing in the world. I don't care if you're a busy mom, single mom, do yourself a favor, take the extra few minutes and boil the water in a pot, heat the food in a pan, hopefully not in aluminum or cast iron's okay. Yeah. Right. Again, it's all about the choices you make and, the the choices you make. I was going to rhyme with something. You got something, Miles? The choices you make and what? I like that. Yeah. It's like leather. And the thing of it is, microwaves are literally, I mean, there was a guy by the name of Barry. He's on YouTube. He was a British like MI6 guy, and he was talking all about MI like microwave ovens. He thinks people that created them or have them should be put in prison. I mean, it was pretty tough, but he was telling you the I don't know all the scientific lingo or lexicon that he was using, but I mean, microwave ovens are just horrific. They eat up your pyloric acid, your gastric juices in your stomach. So if any of you watching this have acid reflux, any GI, any ulcerative colitis, if you have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, you have gut issues, I mean, and you use a mic, I mean, there's a direct correlation to it. It's not that it's it's unsolvable, but it takes work depending on where you are. So processed, cooked, irradiated, microwave, dead food suck. Get rid of it. I mean, I don't have to get them to panic. I mean, the fact that if they even go to the doctor, if they have high blood pressure, if if they've got, I mean, they can go look in the mirror, right? I mean, that's the reflection. That's your outer reflection, but it's an inner reflection of what you're not addressing. You're not looking at things, right? If you're overweight, if you're depressed, if you're unhappy, all you need to do is make one change. Buddha said the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. It's the same thing with fucking food. Just fuck all, man. Just make the shift. Fucking do it, right? I'm here to bust your balls. Do it or don't. Yeah. You love what? It's called your BYB method. You're welcome. You know, you got to get the function in the junction flowing, or you ain't going to be glowing. I can't wait to see the replay of this. It went from like technical havoc to like giggles, laughs, and just all right. I'm digging this. So if no one's here, I don't know if anybody's here. I can't see anybody in the chat. I can't tell, but it's all good. So let me continue on here. So these are the foods, right? Wild caught fish, fatty fish, right? Wild blueberries. If you live in an area where you can get those, great. Blueberries, any berry you need to be careful with. They should be organic because the water permeates berries. And if you're drinking toxic water from like God knows what lake or pond or stream or gully, it's just like, yeah, you want to wash them. I wash berries in water, spring water, with I use CDS, chlorine dioxide solution. That's another thing I can talk about. Andreas Kalker, he's one of the guys. It's one of the best solutions out there. It used to be like Jim Humble, who had Miracle MMS, who helped people with oh God, what was it in Africa with malaria? Anyway, yeah. So you want to clean things, right? Not that fruit wash shit. That doesn't work. Toxins, the glyphosate, it's loaded. A lot of these fruits and berries and things have glyphosate all over them. Baking soda helps, a clean baking soda. All right. So raw ceremonial cacao, lion's mane, mushrooms. There's going to be a talk here about mushrooms. I'm not a huge fan of mushroom products. I mean, I like mushrooms on burgers and stuff like that, but I like one of the companies I work with is Triquetra. They have some very clean products. Not all of them I like, but a lot of them. They have a gut product called Flora Biome. They have a lion's mane mushroom product that's a liquid. It's a what is it? It's a not an extract, not an isolate. It's good. I use it in my coffee. But I'm not a fan of cordyceps. Cordyceps I won't touch because they feed off of like the chrysalis of cat Caterpillars on wood blocks. They're not fruit bearing. No bueno in my book. Okay. Three things here. Adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic herbs are really, really important because what they do is they regulate your nervous system. So if you're someone that's borderline on sympathetic, parasympathetic, you're always in fight or flight, adaptogenic herbs, teas are really great. So, green teas are good with the Kachins. You can do, I'm trying to think of my tea names here. Just went blank. But you can find them, adaptogenic cheese. You can look at them. Marine phytoplankton. This stuff is off the hook. So, do I have a bottle here? I don't think I do. So the company I work with, yeah, it's a company called yeah. Plankton Holland is the company that I work with. They are a one of a kind company out of Holland. Comes in a Miron glass jar, which is a violet glass jar, which helps the nutrients and the energy and the frequency maintain itself. It doesn't oxidize, right? It literally, when you open the jar, it's like umami. If you know what umami is, it's like an umami flavor or taste. You can add it to salads, meat. You can. There's a powder, and then there's like these flakes. Looks like fish food. Okay, but it's phenomenal. It's loaded with so many amino acid. It has superoxide dismutase, SOD, one of the most powerful amino acids, part of the main amino acid profile for creating protein, and a host of other mitochondrial benefits. My baby is E3 Live. I've worked with Michael Saber and Tamara Campbell of E3 Live. They're out of Klamath Lake in Oregon. E3 Live is an algae. It is a phytoplankton, not a phytoplankton. Excuse me, not a phytoplankton. It is it's a plant, but it is it's called a fan. It's a strain called Aphanizomenon flaussequa, AFA for short, and it has phenylethylamine, phycocyanin, all types of amino acids. I mean, it literally is a food. It goes after, it adds NK cells to your bloodstream. It's got the phycocyanin, which is the blue pigment, which you see in spirulina. They call it blue spirulina. In fact, E3 Live was the company that brought it to market. If you see all these smoothies and shakes and chocolates that have the blue dye, hopefully it's the real deal. E3 Live is excipient free. No toxins. They have a very proprietary process by which they extract from domestic and international spirulina that they source, right? And they're super over the top with quality and efficacy and everything. So, but E3 Live was the first company to come up with what's called Blue Magic, MAJIK. You've maybe seen the little strips, or it comes in, you get the powder. It only comes in a powder form, but I love it. And it reduces inflammation. If you post-op surgery, you're doing, post-op, rehab, great stuff. Really powerful. So links there. Moving on. I could talk for hours on a lot of this stuff, but also what else? Cacao. Cacao, Vital Purple. This is actually heirloom, non-GMO from Ecuador, and I've spoken with the owner. We've had a great conversation. He also has another company called Natural Zing. He's got Botajiva olives from Peru. He's the bee's knees. He's got the connections in all the right directions. And the Vital Purple Cacao's got cacao nibs. He's got a whole host of products. I would check it out. The nibs they're phenomenal. They're purple, right? So you've got all of those. What am I thinking of? The carotenoids and the flavonoids and the cacao. When you eat it, it's the love molecules. So you got L-dopa, dopamine, right? Feel good hormones, chocolate, right? He's got the cacao butter, the cacao nibs, cacao pow, boom. Miles, anything on that you want to say? Exactly. I mean, that to me, exactly. Yeah. Yep. It's transaction to transition, you upgrade yourself, you move from 1.0 to 2.0 and onward. It's an evolution. And a lot of people, once they're making the shift, if they've been on that ship of, denial, where they're eating the processed, cooked, irradiated, microwave dead food, and then they start getting here, their whole awareness and mind shifts. So again, internal reflection for outer direction. I'm going to say it umpteenth times, because as you do that, the hologram shifts. The people, the places, the things you hear, the things you see, everyone around you in 3D is a reflection of you, right? All the time, every day. They're all you. So when you make a shift internally, you are the projector, right? And you change it. You change by the thoughts, the way you feel. Don't use logic and intellect. Use feeling, emotion, and your internal compass, because that is really where, and it can happen instantaneously. It doesn't have to take weeks, months. Go to the Tony Robbins seminar, the Joe Dispenza seminar, this seminar, that seminar, right? Because all they do at those places is they feed off of your energy. Loosh. Churches, synagogues, coliseums, auditoriums, they are all designed to feed off of energy. There's a little fucking another little punch to the gut for those that observe it that way, Anyway, all right, let's continue. We're almost done. Oh, no, we're not. We're only at 10 slides of 22. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going. Maybe this is going to be a 2-hour video, whatever. It is what it is. I'll just maybe make it a whole bunch of clips. You guys let me know, right? If you watch this, there'll be chapters. It'll probably be like 30 chapters. But I like to get into the details, right? You guys are on YouTube, so you like long form. You're not the short-term memory people on TikTok that have a 2-second, okay, gotta go. It's like Tourette's. They should call it Tourette's talk. What? Not to make fun of people with Tourette's, but, right? I'm just, all right. So ancient forests have figured out neurogeneration long before modern medicine. Have you introduced yourself to the fun guy? What about the fun girl? The fun guy that I thought it said that grows on your back. No, that grow back your nerves. So again, let's dive into that. So Josh's recommended picks. Did I pick these? Really? Nootropics and adaptogens. So nootropics, again, I'm not talking about microdosing. I'm not talking about going on a plant medicine tour with some shaman, that just got a certificate from some online course, and he wears a hat and he's got a feather and beads, and I don't know, everything is lights, camera, distraction these days. But I like lion's mane. Hericium, which is great, stimulates nerve growth factor. Okay, the protein that literally regrows nerve pathways. Shilajit. All right, this is what I want to talk about. So one of the guys that I worked with, Rafi Dillian from Omega. He's an amazing alchemist at finding herbs. He's got a direct connection in India to some of, none of these third-party shit, which a lot of these companies have. They don't walk their talk. They use all the cool little buzzwords. They have AI design all the Indian music and do this. The company that I love right now, I am not affiliated with them, but I am promoting them here because I've gotten their product. They're pricey, but it's not about price. It's about sustenance, intensity, integrity, efficacy, energy, frequency. That's me. If you don't know me by now, you never will when it comes to the essence, the having the real deal, how priceless it actually is. So Shilajit is a Sanskrit word. It means conqueror of mountains. Also Mumijo, that's another term. The company that I'm referring to, you got a pen, or maybe it'll be in the captions. If I spell it right, it's called Himali Booty, not like BOOT by BUTI, and that's HIMALIBUTI.com. These folks are people that are born, raised, live in Nepal, in the Himalayas. They live it, breathe it, know it. It's in their blood. This isn't like a front, a third-party agency that they do the performance and then they on the back end, no. These guys ship direct. When I got it, came direct from India. It took like a week or 2 weeks for it to get here. Okay. And there's different, like, altitudes. Like they have 14,000, 12,000 feet. This is hand, scoured on the mountains by the Sherpas, by the people that know what to look for. It's third party tested by Eurofins. I don't know if you recall, if you've ever heard of Eurofins, they are the number one at this point in time, at this recording, when you're watching this, 2026, third party tester. They are bar none better than any other third party testing organization that's out there. And usually when you see third party testing from other companies, they show you their paperwork. It's like fake signatures. It's like, what are they testing for? What are the non-detectable? What are the things they're even looking for? Do they even consider glyphosate? Do they consider nanoparticulates that are falling from the sky? Aluminum, cesium, 136, 137, strontium, barium, whole bunch of shit that's falling from the sky. Okay. These guys are on point. So that's the Shilajit. I'm not affiliated. I'm just telling you, if you want the real deal, check them out. Chaga. I think Oraveda is a company I have on my Amazon store. I may link that here. Bacopa Monnieri, also it's a wonderful, powerful adaptogenic herb, great for the brain. Nootropic. Rafi has it. Omika Organics. I'll add that in there. Okay, newsflash. KSM 66, total marketing scam. Means absolutely nothing. Someone came up with an idea. They're going to it's this thing, it's that thing. Bullshit. All right, moving on. Here's some other things. Plankton Holland, I already have that. RNC apricot seeds, B17, yes, anti-cancer. I'm saying it. Triquetra Health, I was mentioning that before. They have some phenomenal products for gut health, they have a good B complex. They have a methylated B, so those that have the gene mutation of MTFHR, really good stuff. So they have some good products. I recommend them. All right. What if stillness? Now we're going to get into the real meat of things. We're going into nothingness land. Yes, you and I are going there now on a journey to the self, inner reflection for outer direction. Are you ready, my friend? You are? Very good. What if stillness isn't doing nothing? It's actually doing everything. What if silence is the loudest signal your brain has ever received? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. But that's it, right? When you slow down, you just take that moment or two or three, and you open the space of literally grace. I don't mean to rhyme it, but that's literally what happens. And that's where the point of reference, that's the fulcrum, it's almost like your higher self. It's the clarion call for you to respond to who you are, what you're about. Are you ready to bring your talents, skills, gifts, abilities, and show the world? Do you think all of your talents, skills, abilities, gifts are just for you? They're not, at least from my place. Like when I was learning, not even learning because I didn't take any courses, but as all my abilities began to come online, I was doing readings years ago back in LA. And what ended up happening was I would do sessions with people and I was afraid to charge money because somewhere I got the message that this was all penance. Like I was paying back karma for doing a ton of shit that I shouldn't have done in other simultaneous incarnations, like lots of nasty stuff. Beg, borrow, steal, rob, kill, murder, maim, doing everything, right? And so people would offer me money as an energy exchange, and I didn't accept it. Or I did sometimes, but reluctantly so, right? And it backfired on me. It totally backfired on me. Like the universe was saying, hey, you asked for something, you've got a gift and a talent, you're serving it, now you're getting, and I was literally blocking the energy because of my BS. And you've heard me say this on other videos. BS. No, not bullshit. It is, but it's a belief system. And you've been programmed with a belief system since you were yay high. And the first thing you were probably programmed with, unless you broke free from it or you're somewhere where you had a really conscious family, is the R word, religion. Nobody chose their religion, at least for the most part, right? Your parents did, their parents did. It's like it goes on, right? Until people break the chain, the ancestral chain, it keeps going on. Religion is man-made. Period. End of story. I'm not here to argue or debate with anybody about it. That's my personal opinion. That's my experience. This is what I know from simultaneous incarnations. You can say whatever you want. Go ahead. It's just like you're free to be who you are, and that's your experience in this life, right? And there are a lot of people that are religious that they do things. They don't do anything to harm anybody. Use their religion to justify murder, killing, raping, pillaging other people, other countries. None of that. But for me, I'm not. All of us are spiritual beings for the most part, unless you're not really human, but you're using a meat suit to kind of cloak yourself. But that's another tangent I can go on. Miles, you still here? Ah, I knew it. I went longer than I'm. Let me reboot Miles. I lost track of time. Hey, you know what? I totally forgot. I was on a rant, and now I'm into the inner reflection mode right now. We're talking about meditation, stillness. So I just want to catch you up on where you dozed off. So, all right. All right. So I'll just read the title of what I have on this slide, then I'm going to jump ahead because I don't even know how long I've been going. Probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't even know. What if stillness isn't doing nothing? It's actually doing everything. What if silence is the loudest signal your brain has never received or has ever received? So I was talking about literally inner reflection for outer direction. And when you become still, all the answers, they become you. You are that. You receive everything. That's like what I was saying. I didn't say it now, but like when I work with people one on one, it's not about me giving you information, even though I work as a multi-clair medium. So when each person's different, so I don't just turn on the abilities, they get activated based on the interaction that's happening. Because number one, I have to get permission from you first, right? A lot of mediums and psychics don't even do that. In fact, if you're on like TikTok or Instagram and you scroll and you're looking for like tarot card readers or divinators or dowsers or pendulum readers, right? They got a little Cash App thing. Yeah, $5. Let me tell you future, right? My thing is like when you do the meditation, the recoiling, you go in a reflection for outer direction, and you're going to work with someone, whether it's me or somebody else, you have to have questions for discernment. And I may even add this. The questions from discernment come actually from the Guardian Alliance via the work of Ashiana Dean. They're great questions. Who is this person? What do they want me to do with my power? Be in subservient service or embrace it? Just things that are empowering, not disempowering. Are you seeking external worship or internal worthship? Right? Very poignant questions, things that make you go, right? And I was also saying that most people have BS, right? Belief systems. These are things that you've been convinced of. Beliefs are things that you've been convinced of from a very young age. And through that indoctrination, programming, patterning, it's like your whole reality, as Joe Dispenza will say, your personality becomes your personal reality. So unless you become aware, you step back the micro to the macro and you take a look at something and you go, you know what? I no longer align with these values, principles, beliefs. Boom. That moment, that's pivotal for you. I've seen it with clients over 30 years of doing this. Change happens instantly. It's not like all of a sudden your whole hologram changes, but that begins the cascade effect, right? It's the quantum override. And then everything becomes easier and effortless and enjoyable, right? You have setbacks here and there, but that's part of the reprogramming. You're putting in a new program into your hardware, and now you're getting new outputs, not the same repeated bullshit, right? Where you expect a different result. That's called insanity. It's like changing seats on the Titanic. We all know where it ends up. There you go. always, in all ways. So now we're going into stillness and frequency, right? So it's called the inner work, right? So again, inner reflection for outer direction. So these are just some things. You may be already doing these practices. So amp them up, right? Daily meditation, not medication unless it's being prescribed, right? Because if you start drinking, drugging, doing plant medicine, ayahuasca, iboga, all that stuff, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it may give you some awareness, some insight, but it's not an organic evolutionary product. And if you talk to plants, they will, if you have that ability to communicate to them, they will most likely tell you that you don't need them to advance or get awareness, to overcome your depression, to seek things quicker, right? You know, everybody wants dimethyl DMT, right? You endogenously secrete that when you do this kind of work, right? When you go out in nature, when you ground yourself, when you do breath work, when you work out in nature, not in a gym with all the Wi-Fi and the blue light and no. Go move your body in ways nature designed you to move, not static, one-dimensional, right? No. I've been working with kettlebells. I mean, that's my latest thing. I'm working with the you know, not qigong, but with the stick. I'm actually did the mangong stick. I saw that thing. I'm like, oh my god, airbender. That's me. Like I remember that from another simultaneous incarnation. Anyway, all right. One thing I do want to say. Whoopsie. Okay, where are we? Oh, I must lost that for a second. Come on, let's get back to where we were. Which slide was that? Here we are. Okay. Yep. Kind of lost it. Here we are. Yes. Okay. So let me just pinch that. Come on. Let's go here. There we are. All right. So one thing I do want to talk about that I just found out information on, and it's subjective, but 432 is the Fibonacci spiral. So people that listen to binaural beats, 528, 627, I don't know, whatever, hike, whatever these things are on YouTube, I don't listen to them. They do affect the subconscious. And I just found out that 432 is part of the Fibonacci, which I had a feeling it was. Everybody claims it. 440, like everyone was dodging 440 because that's what happened during the Holocaust. But 440 is still broadcast on every radio station across the planet. So at this moment, I think there's new frequencies emerging. But I think just listening to your own humming music, your own ability to interpret the signal is pretty much your best bet. But 528, 432, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Miles is spot on because when you hum, I'm not going to go into it now, but humming actually triggers a cascade effect within your cells. It actually reacclimates, realigns a lot of your fascia because your fascia is a bioelectric circuitry under your skin, every joint, every bone, every ligament, your eyes, your organs, everything. So yeah. All right, moving on. Journaling, reflecting. Okay, I want to talk about that real quick. Journaling. So people think, okay, yeah, writing in a notebook. What? No big deal. No, big deal, right? Because you're taking things that are in your head, right? And if you're anything like me, man, I got a lot going on in here. I get ideas downloaded all the time, right? I use like a device called a Plod Note. That's something I use. I'm not affiliated with them, but this is the original one. There's a lot of other things. This is great because it can segment my ideas. It has different templates that you can use. If you're anything like me, you can print them out. It organizes everything. If you're in I know it's something separate, but still, it's to unload the brain so you don't have the brain strain, right? You want to get off the pain train and get on the no stress express. This is a device that I recommend. All right. Journaling. When you write with a pencil, you're transmitting. You're writing, you're taking the frequency and the energy and you're putting it into papyrus, to paper, which is a physical, you're grounding something, a manifestation. So if you have an idea, a plan, you're an entrepreneur, you're bringing something forward, bring it into paper. That's the first step. That's bringing it out of the ether, right? We're downstepping. right? Energy, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. You're feeling it, you're thinking it, boom, on paper. Oh, wow. What happens after I read it on paper? Now I start taking action in 3D. Okay? Prayer, spiritual connection. Again, I'm not knocking religious people. It just depends on who you're praying to, right? I don't drop a knee for anyone or anything. Um, that's a whole other topic, and probably one that I don't think I'll get into, but whatever floats your boat, whatever brings you peace, happiness, joy, and doesn't cause others misery and pain and separation, I'm all for it. I'm all for community, connection, in the right direction, an egalitarian society where everyone is sovereign. They're not governed by someone over them. We all understand, not understand. I don't stand under you. All right. Get off my soapbox. Okay, something I want to talk about real quick while the Oshadi's here. I kind of reinforce this. Biomat. Biomat is a device. It looks like a heating mat. I've had this for probably 15 years. It is one of the most closest devices, an electronic device, but is the closest thing to nature that if you can't get into nature, that I advise anybody, especially if you are a body worker, if you are a massage therapist, if you are Reiki, not Reiki, well, you could do it if you're Reiki, energy worker, acupuncturist, acupressurist, TCM, anybody that lays on a table or sits in a chair and you work on them, a biomat is going to be your best friend. Why? So the biomat was developed, I don't remember the inventor's name, from Korea some 30 years ago, before all this stuff with red light therapy, saunas, everything, okay? The biomat exists. It still exists. It's still as popular today as it was 30 years ago. And it's one of the unsung heroes of reducing inflammation and helping the body trigger the body's own innate ability to rejuvenate, regenerate, and heal itself, okay? Because it's a self-healing mechanism. We just get in the way with all the the BS, right? So a biomat comes, you can go, it's my link, you can go there, check it out when I upload the file. An investment, flat out an investment, not a cost, an investment. Remember, an investment is something that inevitably, hopefully, but in this case, gives you a return, right? Energy exchange. So reducing inflammation. What is a biomat? It comes in a full-length size, and they have a smaller one, a mini one that's kind of fits on a chair. So you sit on it, but what does it do? It brings you almost immediately into parasympathetic mode. Like if you're someone that's been stressed all day, you've got migraine headaches, you want to punch whatever, you lay on a biomat for maybe 5 minutes, you're out. You're chill. You're relaxed. Your blood pressure drops, your heart rate variability acclimates. You feel peaceful. You feel almost as if you're in the womb of mama again. Just a warm, because it's heat, but it's generated. So what it has these ridges, you'll see, ribs of crystals, but they're very specific crystals. They are tourmaline and amethyst. Amethyst on its own emits a certain far infrared frequency. Combined with tourmaline, tourmaline releases negative ions when induction of heat. Now, this is not a heat mat. It has no non-native EMF. It has been tested rigorously, okay? So you can set this thing to sleep on it overnight. It's got, like, on the mini, it has different heat selections, and there's a guide. I mean, they've laid this out beautifully. So for all the different conditions, I have a far infrared sauna, an older model, and I use the biomat after I get out of the sauna, not directly. I do cold water, I come out, then I relax, because now my body is recalibrating, and the biomat really helps. Also, going out in the sun too helps, but I just want to tell you about the biomat. And you can actually put some oils on yourself, and you let the biomat, and man, you are traversing the cosmos. I shit you not. If you want to have a multidimensional, like, out-of-body experience, the biomat and some really good essential oils, I can tell you which oils, like a frankincense, Any tree oil, like a cypress, a black spruce, Oshadi oils. Oh my God. I'll make some more videos. You guys let me know in the comments on the replay what you want more information on. I will bring it. All right. Moving on. Oh, this one's a goodie. Your phone. That's not any part of your trouble, is it? Your phone is always broadcasting. Your nervous system is always receiving. The question isn't if it's affecting you, it's whether you are shielding the signal. Now, I'm going to go back to what we first started talking about, which is what? Spiritual and energetic hygiene. Physically, biologically, chemically, what do? You take showers, you take a bath, you wash yourself, you brush your teeth, right? That's all physical. What do you do energetically? Are you aware of it? Hey, look, I wasn't aware of this stuff, right? I'm not poking fun at people who don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And when you do know what you do know, well, then you take action or not. So phones are really they're very elusive. Know what you are immersed in. Okay. Non-native EMF disrupts the same frequencies your biology runs in. You think that's a fluke? You think that's something random? No, it's intentional. Okay. And that's a much bigger picture, which I'm not going to go into here. And if you know me, because we've probably had chats where I've talked about it. EMF disrupts melatonin. Melatonin is what gets you to sleep. So if you're someone in your bedroom, there should be absolutely no electronics. If there are, everything gets unplugged. Or you go to your circuit board, you shut it off. That's what I do every night in my bedroom. Okay. Blackout curtains. There shouldn't be a speck of light in your bedroom. The temperature in your room should be roughly around 70 degrees at night, depending on where you live. If you live in the tundra, you don't have to worry about that because it's already ice cold. Then you want to get weighted blankets. Weighted blankets affect the body to go deeper into like a gamma, a delta state of deep, resilient rest. And then I have some new information on sleep that I came across that has made me go, like, I don't think we need 8 hours of sleep. I learned some other things about that, which I'll discuss. 5G, 8G, 10G, 12G, all of this millimeter wave. If you're in a town, if you're in a state where you see those black poles going up in the UK, these people are going in and they're taking like electric saws and they're taking this shit down. This stuff, this millimeter wave, this next level, everybody thinks it's cool, right? All your devices, you get everything gaming. You have no idea how bad it is. Like what it's doing to your mitochondria, to your brain, to your nervous system. You think you have health problems? You ain't seen nothing yet. If this gets any bigger and more profound, I mean, they're building smart cities. Go look that up. I'm not going to go into it. But look at smart cities, smart cars, electric cars, right? Jack Cruz, one of my mentors, went into one of the big name car shops, okay, electric car shops. You know who I'm talking about. Brought his tri-field meter, a pretty expensive one. That thing was lighting up like a fucking Christmas tree. What does that mean? Ladies, do you drive one of those cars? Guess what? Are you pregnant? May want to consider not driving that car because that fries your amniotic fluid, destroys DNA, ruins your mitochondria. Your metabolism out of whack? Yeah. Get rid of that Fitbit, that wearable Apple Watch, those ear pods. I mean, it's like you look like a beautiful drone. Not attractive. I'm busting balls. Miles, where are you? Bro. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, and for humans, it's a shame because there's so many assaults that we have. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, go up. Do you remember the acronym? Can you tell me the acronym for smart, like smartphone, smart home, smart this, smart that? There's an acronym for it. Do you remember what it is? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know what? I don't need the refrigerator that talks to me, that has a TV. None of that stuff. The Bluetooth, the loud technology, all that shit's off. You know, give me an analog car. Don't need a backup camera. Don't need sensors on the side to tell if someone's getting too close. I just don't need it at all. All right, let's move on. I want to wrap this up. I think I've been going a bit long. Got a few more slides to go here. Physical distance is free. That's right. And I'm not talking about from the convid shit. Phone off body. I'm talking remove all those devices. There's different, even again, you can go to Defender Shield. You can get things for your phone. You can get a Faraday cage. Faraday cages block EMF, RFID, any pulsing. No one can track you. But the drawback is, you can't use your phone when it's in a Faraday cage. Earthing counteracts EMF. Going to a tree, hugging a tree. What does that do? That diffuses any buildup, any charge. If you're a traveler, a business traveler, you go on planes, flying microwave ovens. The only way to ground yourself on a plane, because all the instrumentation on a plane needs to be grounded. How do you do that? You put your feet right on the stirrups, on the foot stirrups, on the seat in front of you. That grounds you. That's the only way to do it, okay? You can get clothing. You can go to Defender Shield. You can go to lessemf.com. They have shielding clothing. Women, you want to shield your thyroid. Got Hashimoto's? Got issues? Electronic devices. The thyroid is the one place that gets reactive because it can't tell the difference from thyroxine, not thyroxine. It's like, I can't think of it at the moment, but there's an effect. Your thyroid, same thing for men, but for women especially, because thyroid is the master hormone regulator. Your ghrelin, your appetite suppressor, creating appetite. There's another one, ghrelin and something else. I can't think of it right now. Do you know what it is, Miles? There's ghrelin, and what's the other word? Jack Cruz talks about it a lot. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. There you go. Thank you, Miles. I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. So daily EMF shielding, right? You got to do things to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones. Clothing, you can get paint. There's things in your homes. So I do consulting with people, either remotely over their phone. They can take their phone and walk around their house. I can tell them yay or nay, what to get rid of, what to add, but that's something we can talk about as part of my sessions. So there's a lot of things. Look, it's always about adapt, improvise, overcome. That's the way I look at things. No matter what the assaults are, there's always an antidote somewhere. But in the previous slides, you have to go in a reflection for outer direction. If you react, you respond, or you react from fear, uncertainty, doubt, you're not going to get the answer. So, which brings me to the next area. And I don't think I mentioned it here, but I am going to say it. Yeah. Little pause for the cause. So there's an acronym. I've talked about it in my TikTok videos. The acronym is HALT, HALT. Don't ever be hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. If you are any one of those, whether you're working with a practitioner or you have to make a decision, a big decision, don't do it when any one or all of those things are active within you, because you are not grounded, you are not present in your body. I'll just leave it at that. Every night, your brain detoxes, rewires, and literally rebuilds itself, okay, through the lymphatic system, right? It's detoxing everything because there's sugars in the brain. So all the heavy metals, toxins are drawn to the brain, hence Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, forgetfulness, things of that in a way. So we need binders and things to stimulate that, but rest, parasympathetic mode, right? That's where your brain is regenerating, rejuvenating, okay? Are you giving it the right conditions or interrupting the transmission, okay? So sleep is not rest, it is repair. And that statement couldn't be more true. It's repair, right? It's not despair. But if you can't sleep, it is despair because you're not present, you're not grounded, and it creates a cascade effect of cortisol and adrenaline and norepinephrine, which throws you off metabolically. So consistent sleep window, 10 to 6 p.m. Cool room temperature. Like I said, 70 degrees. Zero screen, 60 minutes to 90 minutes pre-rest. So TVs, tablets, televisions, any electronic devices, computers, Bluetooth, all that crap off, because all of that's interfering with your bioelectric signal. If you were to sleep in a forest for a month and then come back to your home, you'd never want to walk into your home again. You wouldn't, because you would be so resilient, so awake, so aware, so satiated. All your hormones would be on point. You come back home, you would immediately feel, you'd be so, because when you're in a home with all the electronics or an office or a space where if you work in a place, you are so desensitized. You can't tell the contrast for the most part, right? But if you go completely and immerse yourself in nature for a month, 6 months, a year, go live in a log cabin. I mean, these are extreme circumstances, of course, but I'm trying to prove a point. Your body literally acclimates to nature. It picks up on the biorhythms. So any skin issues, any gut issues, food sensitivities, all of those things, all this, I'm gluten-free, I've got celiac, I've got this, all that bullshit goes away. That's a story that you tell yourself or the practitioner gave you, and because you were vulnerable, you believed it. Again, BS. Okay? I'm busting balls. Miles, what do you want to say? I'm just calling as I see it, feel it, and experience it. Yeah. Yeah. It's it. That's totally it. Gratitude and prayer before rest. That is key, right? Meditation, not medication. Joy and elation all day long. Again, Pearl Oral Health, and I dropped another one. Great products. They have a orthosilicic acid product that's a tooth product, teeth cleaning. Really great. I recommend that a lot. All right. So, what if the 1:30, we're wrapping up here very shortly. So I thank you for your patience, for being here. If you've gone all the way through this, hey, kudos. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments things you like, dislike, don't buy, whatever you want to say. Constructive criticism is always welcome. What if 1 30-minute walk barefoot in the early AM sun triggered a cascade of brain growth that no supplement stack can fully replicate? Poof, right? The one supplement, and I give again, guy's name is Scott Compton from EMF Warriors, no longer active. Scott Scompy, Jack Cruz gave him that name. He said the one thing up in the sky called the sunplement. That's it. That's Scompy's thing. And I agree, right? You see these supplement stacks from all these companies, but I could do a whole dialogue on supplements, where you keep them, how they're created, how the electric fields affect supplements, how your body uptakes, uses them, methylation processes. It's a long story. So, exercise. Go ahead, Miles. What? So, you can look this up, Miles, while I'm talking about him. His name is Dr. Alexander Wunsch, Wunsch. He's a German photobiologist. He is the maverick in the field of photobiology. And one thing he says, bar none, he says there's no vitamin D, D3 supplement on planet Earth that can replace the loss of the D serum that you have in your body. Nothing beats sunlight. No supplement can ever replace it. In fact, if you take those supplements, it actually down regulates your body's ability to actually utilize the sun. It throws it completely, it's like got a catabolic effect on your body. Now, if you're in a place where you don't get any sunlight, then the option for that, and I can put a link for it, is a device called a Sperti, Sperti sun lamp. I'm actually affiliated with the company. They're one of the first companies that came out, but they do have a lamp that actually helps your body to generate and manufacture vitamin D. So did you take a look at Dr. Wunsch? Big time. So what were you going to say about him? I cut you off. Yeah, so I cut you off, but go ahead. You got what? All right. We're back. So can you tell me about Dr. Wunsch? You were just about to tell me that before you took a little coffee break. No, Dr. Wunsch, Alexander Wunsch. He's a photobiologist. No, no, not much. Not much. Alexander Wunsch. He's German. So it's Wunsch. He's in Heidelberg, Germany. Oh, completely. He's way up there. Yeah. So let's talk about zone two cardio, sprint intervals, not jogging, right? Resistance training. I mean, all of this to me is all outside. Yoga, qigong, anything outdoors that brings you. What's the other one? Qigong, yoga, tai chi, all of those really great. All right, cloud technology. All right, this is going to bring it home. Cloud technology versus your field. And I just want to leave this with you. Okay. We're talking about smartphones, smart cars, and the meaning again. What was that, Miles? Smart. What was the acronym for smart technology? Not so smart. We call it stupid technology, but smart stands for what? But no, there's an actual acronym for smart. There is an acronym, and you mentioned it earlier. I'm asking you. I forgot. I actually have it somewhere in my files, but surveillance, I don't know. It's something to that nature because it's all about surveillance technology. Yeah, but that's what. Yeah, but that's what there is an actual legitimate term for it for the acronym for SMART, SMART. But that's what it's about with cloud technology. Anyway, let me just read this. So, cloud technology versus your field. The cloud stores your data. Your field is your data. Okay. One was built to harvest you, the other was built to free you. Their cloud versus your field. Their cloud harvests your data, can be hacked and sold, requires external servers designed for dependency. Your field, you are the data, accessed by your own frequency. Server lives in your spine, designed for sovereignty. So, your brain is listening. What are you telling it today? Right? Consciously or unconsciously. Just when you thought you were limited, that's just the illusion of confusion. Don't fall for the delusion. Critical thinking is the ultimate unlinking. From yours truly. So, we've come to the end. I don't know how long this has been, maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Josh. I'm your intuitive guide, multi-clear medium, and I would be honored to work with you if you are seeking guidance, further guidance, clarification. You would like information or just support. You want someone to guide you. I don't coddle, but I'll bust your balls in a good way. Okay. But we're still going, Miles. We're still here. So if you're ready to go deeper, you can book a one-on-one session. I do 30 and 60-minute sessions. I also do like mentorships. I can work with you on a month basis. I've done that where I check in once a week. We do like an hour video, go through things. You can ask questions. I provide, we do video conferencing. I provide you follow-up documentation, actual action steps that you can take. And we check in. You can text me, email me, call me when it's necessary, but I set up a window where there's an open line of communication so that you can get the support that you need, right? But it's all about inner reflection for outer direction. And if that's something that interests you, if you got skin crystals, that's your sign as the metagalactic amplifier that you are. That's telling you something. And I work by invitation. So if you're feeling the vibe, you want to be in the tribe, drop it. There we go. I love it. So Jay's still here. Hey, all right, I'm back in it. I'm in the bottom right. All right, that's cool. Yeah. So we've almost gone for 2 hours. I think Jay's been the only one here the whole time, but that's okay. Welcome, Jay. That's awesome. I'm glad I was able to just get this out. It'll be on the replay. People can check it. I'll probably do another video about this once I get Loom set up because I had Loom going as well. That's where I had my mess up. But hey, hope this was entertaining and training, engaging, and enlightening all at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. I'm still here. We're still live on TikTok. I mean, I think it was, just reflecting on it. And for those that are going to watch this on the replay, like I said, drop any questions you have in the comments, DM me. Um, and like I said, well, I haven't said it before, but Miles and I go live on TikTok as well, Monday through, I think Friday we do it from 1 p.m. till about 1 to 2. Okay. So if that's something you're interested in, we talk all about spiritual and energetic hygiene, answering questions. And also on there, you can book from there too. But I only take on, really anywhere from 1 to 3 clients per week. It just depends on that particular week and what's going on my schedule. But if that's of interest to you, you're looking for clarity, want to work on something, get clarity, or you want to communicate with someone on the other side. I work with, people that have crossed over and with pets as well, right? But it's not something that I force. So, I can usually check in with those that have crossed because sometimes they're not hanging there or they're in what are called hibernation zones. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun and it helps to bring clarity and closure for a lot of people. Most people don't get closure on a lot of different issues with loved ones that have crossed over. So, anyway, that is it for me tonight. This has been awesome. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, those that are checking this out on the replay. And I will catch up with you. We'll be back again. I don't know if we're going to do one tomorrow. Maybe we will. What do you think, Miles? Should we do one tomorrow? I think we'll do it. Awesome. Everybody have a great night. Fly low, avoid the radar. Stay healthy, my friends. Lots of love.